only ESTJs do this one weird trick to get extra good insurance rates on their insurance. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about insurance. I'm talking about this weird thing that ESTJs do, or at least that my dad does. Is this an ESTJ thing? Is it an NI-polar thing? I don't know. I mentioned it the other day in a stream, but it's worth recapping. Rachel, my dad, and I were watching basketball, and there are these Capital One commercials that have these basketball stars, like old basketball stars, like Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, whatever, right? So they also have Samuel L. Jackson in them. And we're watching these commercials, and my dad's like, well, I guess they're all friends. I said, well, Samuel L. Jackson is playing the role of the friend of all these basketball players here. I said, well, he obviously is. I said, Dad, they're just acting, they're just actors. They are not actually friends. This is not the first time I've encountered this. My dad told me one day he was shocked to discover that the dog in the commercial with Aaron Rodgers is not actually Aaron Rodgers' dog. He's shocked to discover and assumes that anytime he sees a professional athlete in an advertisement with a wife, that's actually his wife. It's weird. I'm assuming ESFJs with their NI polar don't do that because of FE. They probably get the fact that these people are acting, But my dad's SI tool function says, I see these people together in an advertisement acting like friends. They must actually be friends. I mean, it's happened on several occasions with my dad where he's like, wow, mama, you have a pretty wife. I'm like, I don't think that's actually his wife, Dad. I'm pretty sure that's an actress. Hi, Paolo. My dad is an extremely smart guy. He's probably the only person I can think of in the world that if he disagrees with me, my default is, how am I wrong? Let's figure this out. Everybody else, my default is, okay, another wrong person with their wrongness. When my dad disagrees with me about something, it makes me think, like, okay, why am I wrong? Because he's so smart and logical and reasonable and everything. But when it comes to TV commercials, he believes the craziest nonsense. Like, no, Dad, they're not actually friends. I mean, they might be. It might be the case that Samuel L. Jackson is friends with Spike Lee and Charles Barkley and Larry Bird. It might be the case. Maybe they made friends when they were doing these ads. But the point is, this is not representative of their actual lives where they go hang out with each other and eat chips and talk about Capital One, Maybe it's just my dad. I don't know. Maybe it's a certain generation of ESTJ. But I don't think my ex-wife ESFJ made that mistake. So I think it's a ESTJ thing or maybe a generational thing or a combination of both. My dad's NI polar plays out like that. It also plays out like, well, of course he's the best. We've been going to him for years, Dad, the fact that you've got time invested in this person doesn't mean that they're good. Right. It may be a generational thing. Silent generation. He was born in 38. So he was born in a time period before TV commercials. When they just had the radio. When he was growing up, he'd listen to things on the radio. My dad's not a boomer. My dad did not like loud announcers and hyperbole at all. Well, see, my dad's much more reasonable about it. We had to go to the bank. There's 2 Wells Fargos near here. We had to go to the bank together like a few weeks ago. And he's like, why are you going up there? Go to my person down there where I know them. I said, but I've been dealing with this lady up here. And so he's like, oh, you've got a person? Okay, then. It's like, I don't want to have to start all over with this whole conversation with a new person. I've already been talking to this lady about it up here for a while now. It turned out, what was the big problem? I'll tell you what the problem was. I didn't endorse the check I deposited. It's the first time it's ever happened that not endorsing a check I deposited has caused a problem. But it did. Normally, if you don't endorse a check and you deposit it, it doesn't matter unless somebody says like, oh, I challenge that check. Then the fact that you didn't endorse it causes a problem. But anyway, that was the problem. I didn't endorse the check. It's just like, what? My dad is also very susceptible to platinum club status, or oh, but I'm a platinum rewards member. Dad, they don't care about that. Nobody's going to treat you differently because you're a platinum rewards member. I mean, maybe they will at the condos and stuff, like the timeshare places and so forth, because my dad travels so much that he's in like Marriott's, elite president's club or whatever, that for people who have traveled for decades with Marriott. He's pretty loyal to Marriott thing. Any fish go missing the last few days? I hope so. We have so many fish that it's impossible to tell. But we don't care about the fish anymore, Gen X Seal. We have Lelouch, whom I call Lilu, the lobster, named after the main character in Code Geass. And he is definitely king of the castle. Everybody else just lives there now. He is so interesting and exciting. The only thing about it is he's nocturnal. So if you really want to watch him go out and about, you gotta flash the flashlight on the tank in the middle of the night, and then you can see him. He's like looking around, doing his shit, moving stuff around, and then he kind of looks over at the light and goes, it starts going, oh shit, this light shining on me. It was kind of it'll kind of back up. Well, I mean, that's great if the crayfish will snipe them one by one. We have more. See, they told us at the pet store, they said the crayfish won't eat the fish, that they're too fast, that the crayfish can't catch them. But what Rachel read online and told me last night was that, here, Rachel, I'll move this one too. Sorry.
That's okay.
Because you're welcome to move things too. And we wanted it to eat the fish.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's what they said. We didn't know. We've read a couple things about crayfish since we got it, and it doesn't appear that you really have to feed it anything.
Yeah.
Like it just.
It starts out as an omnivore, right? Eats both. And then as it gets older, it starts to prefer vegetables.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I mean, we do have plants in the tank. Well, our little lobster guy there, he's quite the hermit crab.
He really is.
We have a large conch shell that back when I was a kid and we come back from Hawaii, my dad would always have pulled shit from the bay and probably like, oh, okay, we're here for 2 weeks. Good. That's time enough to take a conch from the ocean, kill the thing inside of it, and take home the shell. ESTJ.
Oh my gosh, that is so great.
Sinking shrimp pellets or lobster bites should make up the majority of your crayfish diet. I mean, that's not what crayfish eat in the wild. They don't eat sinking shrimp pellets or lobster bites.
Yeah, like what I read said that tricolor lobster, which is what it was labeled as in the store, will definitely eat like dead fish and crack open snail shells.
And we have too many snails too. So the other thing is, did you put any of those bloodworms in?
I didn't actually.
Okay, we have bloodworms as well, which we can put in there. But from what I'm imagining, I think wet food's not good for cats. Wet food's bad for cats. They just like it.
They like it.
The formulas in fluval bug bites are good representations of the diet they need. It's bad for their teeth. They need to eat crunchy things to clean their teeth.
Oh, for cats.
Well, I mean, I guess it's a trade-off then, Octavia Silva. Do you want good urinary health or do you want clean teeth? Lots of fluval formulas? I've never even heard of fluval before. Okay. Well, I'll look into it. We'll look into it. We do plan to get a bag of frozen peas.
Yes.
And the reason is because that's a vegetable. And it sinks.
Yep.
That's why, basically.
Yeah, it's a vegetable. It stinks.
Colin Farrell's movie The Lobster. Now, this is using SI and TE and a little bit of NI to make a decision about what to feed the lobster. So we read that it likes vegetables. I have from my SI memory in Hawaii, and when I'd go snorkeling, we'd always buy a bag of frozen peas because the fish like to eat them in the water. And so you'd give the frozen peas and the fish would come around and eat the peas. I think nowadays they tell you not to do that, of course. It's like all the shit that I did as a kid is just like now considered awful.
You guys got to have the fun with it.
Yeah, we got to have the fun. But yeah, my dad was a big believer in collecting cool things to take home. So
he does have like a bunch of cool stuff.
We have a couple of conch shells.
And then those geodes that are on that like little mantle bench thing.
Yeah.
Those are really pretty.
We did go geode hunting as well. I did so many things as a kid. It's weird to even think. Every time I talk about my childhood, I'm doing some crazy shit. Like we went geode hunting. So you go and you look for the round ones and then you crack them open and see if there's a geode inside.
That's cool.
Pretty cool. There's an area where you go geode hunting. I mean, I should be really grateful, really, in the sense that though I didn't always want to be included. In fact, a lot of times I didn't want to be included. My parents included me in just about absolutely everything.
That is sweet. That's how my parents were with me too. Like, if they were going on vacation, they always wanted to bring me along too. And the same thing, whether I really wanted to go or not.
Right. And I'm so glad that I did. Are we going to get the vaccine when it's available? I'm not planning on it, unless there's enough of a TE advantage that I just end up doing it. Sacrificing principles for practicality, I guess. My dad got the first shot of it the other day, and he said he feels fine, no problems. Octavio Silva asked that question. The Lobster, huh? Colin Farrell's movie The Lobster. Never heard of it. You ever heard of it?
I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it.
What do you make of Dr. Tom LaHoo? He's got a really dumb name.
The Who.
It sounds like a fake name, Dr. Tom LaHoo. Sounds like the name of a doctor and a.
I am grateful. What's up? And Eric's grateful too.
Yeah, well, at least we were just reminding us that a lot of people don't have good childhoods.
Oh.
I
was grateful. I have plenty of great memories traveling with my family. We were lucky in that we traveled really well together. Like, when my mom was on vacation, she was on vacation. Like, she would let loose a lot of times, so it would make for a very pleasant trip.
You'd also have, because you were under the care of an ESTJ, as I had, lots and lots of activities. Activities galore.
And as I got older, the one good thing about being labeled as a mental health patient or whatever, as I got older,
a problem child.
Problem child. As I got older, my parents were more and more aware of my need for sleep and stuff, so they would go out and do some activities without me. So it really was. Eric and I definitely had childhoods where we experienced a lot of things because of our parents.
The other thing is, of course, my relationship with my parents was typologically a lot easier than Rachel's with hers. It's not a Talking with Famous People live stream. Unless there's some Rachel coughs in the background. My parents were my dual and my benefactor. Her parents are her
conflictor and contrarian.
So it's a lot worse.
It is.
It's a lot worse.
He's right.
It's like at some point in my life, it's interesting. My relationship with my dual mother changed. Scionics intertype changed such that she replaced me with Delilah. It's like ISFJs like to be mothers and grandmothers, and when their children grow up to be an adult, they're no longer part of their experience on a daily basis, and so the relationship changes. SI DOMs work like that. They know what they know. They don't really like change, and they see change as something of a betrayal. And so we're hopefully not discussing anything controversial today. I'm not really in a fighty mood. We're talking about, I was just talking about how my mother's relationship with me changed over time because she's an ISFJ. And as an ENTP, I grew up and moved away from the family. So there was long stretches of my life where I may have lived nearby, but, I'd see them once a month. Maybe they were traveling or whatever. I just didn't see them very often, even if but then once I had Delilah, that changed things. And I saw them, but only in the sense of picking up or dropping off Delilah, basically, or having an occasional dinner. Delilah became the central point of interest to them, and I was this person they had to go through to get to Delilah. Not that I ever gave any pushback at all. I said, you have at it. You guys want to take her to Mia? Take her to Mia.
Yeah.
I totally trust you guys. The only time I felt uncomfortable was when her mother took her to Mexico. That made me feel a little worried because I felt like that was maybe a little dangerous. But she came back in one piece, so what are you going to do? All's well that ends well,
Yeah.
As the Shakespeare saying says. I'm going to grab myself a cherry Coke. Would you like one?
Sure. Thank you.
Well, they are Mexican. Really, Trevor.
Oh.
Good reason to go to Mexico.
It is.
You said yes, right?
Yes.
I didn't get you one, of course. Can we split this one?
Yes.
Instead of me going back up right now. And we'll get another one when we're done with this one.
Yeah, I'm trying to straighten up before.
I actually do think and thought at the time that Mexico was kind of a dangerous place to send a little American girl, even though I felt better because she was going with her half Mexican mother and her Mexican grandmother. Abuelita, as we called her, she's kind of hilarious. When Delilah was born, it was all,
That was a really good impression of something.
It's Abuelita when Delilah was little. Abuelita talking to Delilah was, Sakay, It's really ridiculous.
That's so cute.
But Grandma Abuelita's a drunk, so Abuelita was always some distance into her tequila, and she lives in Monterey Park here, and has lived here for I don't know decades. She still speaks broken English. She says things like when she gets drunk, she goes, "Oh, I love my husband." Oh, and grabs his face like this. It's pretty hilarious.
It is hilarious.
Anyway,
What do you think she is?
ESFJ.
ESFJ.
ESFJ. But and what she likes to do is, she'll go. She didn't have her husband gets like multiple pensions basically because he got a Purple Heart in Vietnam, So he was full blast seeing
Wow.
action all through Vietnam. Like deep in the wandering through the swamps, carrying an automatic rifle above his head kind of shit, you know?
Wow.
Like he was deep in the full blast action. But he's also, well, he's an INTJ, who's people would call autistic probably. He's a savant with learning languages. So he in Nam, he picked up Vietnamese very quickly, and then he went down to Mexico not speaking a word of Spanish to find a Mexican wife. This is such an INTJ thing to do. Learned Spanish while he was there. All the Mexicans in the family, which vastly outnumber Tom, who's the white guy, right? They all said to me during that relationship, they all said, "Oh, Tom speaks beautiful Spanish."
Like trying to get you to, or
No, they were so amazed by it.
Oh.
Like they'd never seen a white guy speak. He just like translucent white, like from West Virginia. Practically see through the guy. He's so pale. Okay, and he's this weird autistic INTJ dude who is savant with languages, and and when you talk about like people seeing action and being like back in Nam, he wasn't like that. It didn't affect him. He was just like, yep, went there, shot a bunch of them, and yeah, we'd have to stack them up, or we'd bury them out there, or we'd burn them, or you ask questions to be very, very straightforward in his answers, and it would be like it didn't have any impact on him. Boba Fett, don't critique Rachel's smoking style, okay? Boba Fett suggesting maybe you'd be better smoking a joint. Wouldn't help. It doesn't help. She just likes to cough.
What?
I do.
It's an important part of her daily routine.
I have morning lung.
She's suffering from morning lung right now. So anyway, I'm glad that Delilah had that part of her growing up as well, and self-identifies as Mexican ridiculously, in my opinion.
Yes,
as well.
does.
I love the fact that she does, because anytime somebody calls me racist or whatever, I go, "My daughter's Mexican. What are you talking about? You know? How am I being racist against Mexicans? I married one. My daughter is one. I married a second Mexican. How can I possibly be?" I mean, Lee Trimmer, she knows more. She knows more Spanish than I do, and I'm pretty good on Spanish too. But she's not fluent. But she speaks Spanish pretty well, actually. Somebody asked earlier, I think the only true comment asked, do I support Trump? Is that what you asked? I would point out that it's not possible to support Trump anymore because he's no longer either president or running for president.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Lee Trimmer, this ridiculous thing. She's not fluent. She's whitewashed. Mexicans won't accept her as their own. What the fuck do you know about Mexicans? I mean, she's part of she's part of two large Mexican families, okay?
She found out she's 32% British. So.
Yeah, that's from the West Virginia half, I guess, from Grandpa. I don't know.
Probably a bit of you too.
Maybe.
Wouldn't be surprised. Because 32% is pretty big.
Like, she's part of the Gonzalez family. That's Candace. Candace's mom, Candace's dad, Candace's brother, Candace's sister, Candace's sister's 2 kids, and Candace's sister's husband. She's definitely part of that family.
Yeah, she is.
Candace considers her daughter. And she's also definitely part of the McCready family, which are the McCreadys, but they include Albolita, Christina, Jessica, all these very mostly dark-looking people, So I don't, and when you go to a party at the McCrady's house, it's a Mexican party. I've been to them there plenty of times. Okay, it's all Mexicans except for me and Tom, and I'm working on my Spanish and enjoying it. I like Mexicans because they don't take life too seriously. They like to get drunk. They like to have parties.
Yeah,
They're very alpha quadra. They're very SFJ.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable with SFJ. SFJ works well for me. So it's like, now, granted, I that's if I don't want to realize it all, I can just be comfortable in SFJ land. But okay, well, maybe at least from the Hispanics, you've been around a groupist, but I live in Los Angeles. Okay, everybody deals with everybody.
Yeah.
It's like in Los Angeles, there just really isn't any. That shit just doesn't play. I mean, it's like you drive around, there are billboards that are in Spanish, there are billboards in Chinese, there are billboards in English.
Yeah.
There are signs in all different kinds of languages. There are, even in neighborhoods like this, which are relatively homogenous, you've got a majority Chinese people here, but you've also got a lot of Indians and a lot of white people here, just by how people look, it's really peaceably diverse around Los Angeles. There's no group conflicts. I mean, maybe down in the gang areas or something. Like the closest I came to a group conflict was I went downtown the other day and was making these videos, and this scary tatted up guy took exception to what he presumed was me making some sort of critical video about the homeless. That's really a class issue, That's not a race issue at all. So, I mean, I've never encountered any race issues in Los Angeles. I mean, at least not in the last 20 years or something. I mean, when I was a kid, like, racism was fairly normalized, I guess. But yeah, there was a BLM riot down near West Hollywood. But I mean, I just see that as anarchists, basically. I don't see that as being. I doubt that it was primarily comprised Black people. I'm sure that it involves a variety of different people. Do I support BLM? No, I hate it. I think it's terrible. I think it's stupid, racist nonsense. Well, it depends who you're talking to. I'm sure there are some people like that. Lee Trimmer, and plenty of people who aren't. The point is, they're individuals, I mean, look, it's one thing for me to say my experience of Mexican culture here has been very SFJ. And so SFJs, they deal with the people in their lives as the people in their lives. They don't deal with them as members of a group so much, right? That's more of an NI thing, really. The insistence that people manifest as part of a larger set rather than as individuals.
I'm feeling so lazy.
Hi, Dad.
Hello.
Hello.
I assume this is legit. Top. I didn't open it.
Let me Google this. I'm not sure. Let me Google. My dad just got a text saying that Google is re-verifying his phone number. I don't know if that's legit or not.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
Looks like it's okay.
it's fine. Yeah, this.
Mhm.
It's not spam or phishing attempt. You're good. And I don't think you need to even do anything. Although you can click that link if you want to. You're good.
Well, I know as long as it's that's why I didn't even open it. So it's okay.
It's all good.
Okay.
And you're not the only one to be weirded out by it. It says right here, as if that wasn't creepy enough. You know.
Okay.
So you're not the only one who thought it was weird.
Okay.
But it is legitimate. It's legit.
All right. So Google said the phone's okay.
Yeah. And you don't have to do anything either.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it's Google. No, it's a text sent by Google that says Google is re-verifying this phone number. He doesn't have to do anything, although there is a link that says to learn more, push this link. And so I just Googled to see if it's legit, and it is legit.
You're such a good son.
Thanks, Tony.
You're welcome.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it whenever my dad asks me to double check things like that because I have pretty good intuition about stuff like that. I'm not likely to click something that's bullshit and I'm also I have good intuition as to whether I know enough, like whether I need to Google it, like I just did right there. That one was, I didn't know, I couldn't tell, so I had to Google it. Sometimes it's obvious. Anyway. I am pretty good at speaking Spanish, but not quite good enough to understand the telenovela at the barbershop. I can pick up little bits of it, like, you know, it's true, she killed your aunt or something. but I can't pick up a lot of the stuff around it. So it's kind of frustrating to watch, you know?
Yeah, like you said, like I was able to check with the second telenovela. I was able to tell that those three people at the table were up to something.
Were they up to no good?
Something. Yeah, I think no good.
They're probably up to no good. Speaking of BS, does anyone heard of RTT life therapy? I was forced down the rabbit hole recently, and it was hilarious video worthy. RTT, huh? Never heard of it.
Me neither.
So yeah, there's a lot of things out there trying to scam old people, and it is very. I'm very grateful that my dad is willing to come out and check with me and stuff.
Yeah, it's so much easier. You know, he has someone to go to now when those things come up.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. What else do we want to talk about today? Would we like to talk more about our crayfish? Yes, we would.
Where is he right now in the shell?
All right, he's probably in the shell. I'm going to go
Okay.
look.
He's very cute. I couldn't find him under the other two spots that he lives in. So I'm guessing the shell.
Yeah, I think he's in the shell.
When he's in the shell, you can't see him at all. Like there's no little
Right, he's pulled all the way back up in there, so you can't even see a feeler.
Yeah, the feeler. He's so cute.
There's nothing to see. But yeah, we gotta go get some frozen peas.
Yeah, we'll get some frozen peas and we could get Pee-Pee some food too.
It's a tricolor. We went to get a blue one, but when we got there this time, they didn't have any more blue ones.
Right.
All right, Banana Warrior Princess wants to know the strange things that ESTJs do, and I will tell you right now. I don't, and I want to clarify. I'm not sure if this is an ESTJ thing entirely, if it's an ESTJ plus generation thing, which is my suspicion here. Because my dad's silent generation. That's the generation before boomers. So anyway, he oh yeah, sure. I'll put that link right here. When we watch commercials, like let's say there's a commercial with a famous sports person in it, and in the commercial there's a wife, a lady playing his wife in the commercial. My dad assumes that's actually that guy's wife. When we watch these Capital One commercials with Samuel L. Jackson and Charles Barkley and Larry Bird and like Reggie Miller and those old basketball player guys, he thinks they must actually be friends. You know, it's like when I say, well, Samuel Jackson's playing their friend, and my dad goes, well, obviously he is. He's saying you can observe the fact that they're actually friends here on the TV right in front of you. It seems to be this weird lack of awareness of the fact that they're acting. Which reminds me of how in the Middle Ages, they used to do this thing at the end of a play. Each of the actors would come out and say, I'm not actually the villain. I was just acting. To make sure that everyone was aware that they weren't just acting. Because people were able to be too taken up. Like, well, for example, I remember reading an interview with Larry Hagman, who played on the show Dallas, like a big money investor or whatever. And somebody on a plane was sitting next to him in first class asking him financial advice. Because after all, he's, you know. All right, so now I'm going to go get that link. He was surprised that Aaron Rodgers' dog in the commercial was not actually Aaron Rodgers' dog in real life. It was an actor dog. He came to share that news with me one day, out of the blue. You know, maybe we were watching the commercial or something. He said, "You know, one of my friends told me, because he communicates with people by email. That's not actually his dog." I said, "Oh, okay." Well, you know, I never assumed it was, but obviously my dad did, right? So,
Oh my!
is this just my dad, or is it NI-polar and ESTJs? I don't think ESFJs would make that mistake.
I think no, because ESFJs are way too into pop culture to.
They understand acting, but
Yeah.
although they buy into those reality shows.
Yeah, they do big time. Reality shows, they really do believe.
They don't get that they're scripted.
No, they don't.
So maybe that is NI-polar.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that is. That shows up how it is for them. But they're into pop culture enough to know that, like, well, I don't know. See, I don't know if they would think that the dog would be Aaron Rodgers'
dog.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, as intuitives, we perceive these commercials as attempts by other intuitives to convey certain archetypes. But if you're not a mapping person, you may just, you know, be fed those archetypes and respond to them without any meta analysis, you know?
Yeah. That's the goal of the commercial, is to suspend your reality for a little bit. So it works on your dad and it works on ESFJs in reality shows. They love them. Like, they deep in their, like, anything with drama, the ESFJ will be there.
It was it wasn't a question though. Holy shimmer. He was sharing with me
Yeah.
a surprising tidbit he'd learned. It wasn't a question, right? Hey, did you know that the guy who plays Iron Man doesn't really have any of those powers? It's kind of like that on a much more minor level, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so my point was, it never occurred to me to assume that it was his dog, you know? I assume it's not. I assume this whole thing is, I sort of see behind, I can see the, what do you call it? The wires and pulleys and stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And it looks like, I can imagine how they put this set together. I can imagine how they told where they positioned the actors and told them what to do. I mean, not that I have any experience on set or anything, but I can picture what it's like from seeing it in movies, I guess. You know, we tend to, the more metaphysical you are, the more you tend to collapse things or frame things in terms of sets like that. Or I have this sort of idea of what the set of a commercial looks like.
Mm-hmm.
People standing around with cameras, people positioning actors, somebody saying, you know, say it more like this, and somebody going action and clap the thing. Yeah, we all have this kind of archetypal vision of what it's like at a commercial shoot. So I envision that somewhat when I see commercials, not just the thing that's being presented to me. Right, they're pseudo-scripted.
Yeah, so like they're given what is it called?
Alcohol.
They're giving it
Lots of alcohol.
Lots of alcohol.
And sure enough, people do stupid shit.
Yeah, who would think? But yeah, it's a skeleton script. It's not even a script. They're given an outline and a theme that's supposed to happen. And the people who are in control of the show will notice things that'll happen in their life. And they'll be like, stop, that's great. You know what? Go up more with that and talk to her in this kind of tone, like you're really upset about it. And then you come back at her like this.
So they'll reshoot things.
Yeah.
It's like how I do narration for videos. I don't script it. I talk naturally over it, and then I do it until I do it 3 or 4 times. By the 4th time, it's scripted that little chunk, right? Then I go on to the next little chunk. I just freestyle it. If I nail it the first time, I just keep it. If I don't, I redo it. You know, and that way it always sounds more or less natural. Now I sound way more natural than reality TV people ever do. Reality TV people sound about as natural as Will Ferrell in that skit on called The House, I think.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Oh, you've seen it. I showed it to you, I think, didn't I?
Oh.
Where they argue about going to the movies.
Oh. You might have shown me it.
I'll find a link for it and put it here.
This
is the perfect mockery of reality TV.
I wouldn't mind watching it again.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll take an intermission and watch it. Let me find the link, and then we're going to take a short intermission to watch this. And I suggest you do too. All right, it's 3.5 minutes. Let's take a 3.5 minute intermission to watch this, okay? I'm going to put mute here. Leaf trimmer, don't start shit, please. Okay? Don't start shit.
Not right now.
So the point is, Boba Fett. Point is that is a perfect imitation of reality TV and how they do shit, and just like the incredible constructedness of the whole thing, right?
Yeah. I used to love the real world. When I was in my teens and my early 20s, I definitely binged on the real world. But I stopped watching after, I don't know when I stopped watching. I just did.
Yeah, I deleted that message up in place for you. I found it unnecessarily aggressive. Yeah, I thought it was funny too. I mean, I've seen it a few times now, so it wasn't as funny this time for me. But
I thought it was.
I really like the way that Will Ferrell imitates the acting tone of reality skit actors. So, like, reality TV actors, like, says, "I couldn't wait to get to know him better." In this way, that's just it's this perfect fucking reality TV, you know. I really am impressed with his acting chops.
That was such a good one. I'm glad you thought it was funny, Paulo.
I've seen a couple of his
Boba
skits,
Fett.
Boba Fett. I have, actually. I've seen a couple of them. He's got a couple of funny things.
Who?
This is a Waking with JP thing. I've seen one or two of his skits.
You gotta remember, I'm taking a nap. It's so fucking good.
Okay, well, I think I'm going to probably draw this to a close. I've got a busy day today.
So it sounds like Legends Fall has had an interaction like your dad did about the dog in the commercial.
Well, I mean, what you're not gleaning from the ESTJ woman there, Legends Fall, is what her assumption is, regardless of what her interest is. Right? So, my dad is in probably his most lightened up period of his life. He's as chill as he's ever going to get. And he has time in his ontology for being surprised by things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Leaf Trimmer, I deleted a message of yours that was unnecessarily provocative by criticizing someone's exclamation point of all things. Probably because it was a chick. Well, sometimes you make me tired.
I get that too.
I think what I'm going to do now is put on some music intermission, pull a bowl, and decide if there's anything else I feel a pressing need to discuss. My advice would be INFJs like to be included and don't like to be excluded. But they don't like to be They don't like to be expected.
Thanks, 69 Kuda.
Include, don't exclude, and don't expect.
God.
Well, she's kind of depressed also. Run away? She wants to be distanced.
At some point, well, maybe during intermission or after. Actually, it would have to be after the stream. Could we listen to They Might Be Giants? I have She's an Angel stuck in my head since I woke up.
Tell you what, why don't I play on the guitar?
Even better. He's so romantical.
I met someone at the dog show. She was holding my left arm, but everyone was acting normal, so I tried to look nonchalant. We both said I really love you. The Shriners loaned us cars. We raced up and down the sidewalk 20,000 million times. Why did they send her over anyone else? How should I react? These things happen to other people. They don't happen at all. In fact, when you're following an angel, doesn't mean you have to throw your body off the building. So in the end, you're a pinhead, calling you an angel, calling you the nicest things. I heard they had a space program. When you sing, you can't hear, there's no air. Sometimes I think I kinda like that, and other times I think I'm already there. Gonna ask for my admission. Gonna speak to the guy in charge. The secretary says he's on another line. Can I hold for a long, long time? I found out she's an angel. I don't think she knows I know. I'm worried that something might happen to me if anyone ever finds out. Why they sent her over anyone else? How should I react? These things happen to other people. They don't happen at all. In fact, when you're following an angel, doesn't mean you have to throw your body off a building. When they're calling you Bennett, calling you an angel, calling you the nicest things. I gotta scroll down. I heard they had a space program. When you sing, you can't hear, there's no air. Sometimes I think I kinda like that, and other times I think I'm already there. When you're following an angel, doesn't mean you have to throw your body off a building. Somewhere they're calling you a Bennett, calling you an angel, calling you the nicest things. Thank you.
That's
you.
really great.
Thanks.
Thank you for that.
My pleasure, darling. It's a good song, right? It kind of gets stuck in your head.
Mm-hmm.
I met someone at the dog show. She was holding my left arm. You know, it really, it's all on B too, that whole beginning part. No, it's not grouped to me. I'm accusing you of just playing a pattern. You might say, it's unfair of me that you don't actually display that pattern. But it's not me being groupist. There's another They Might Be Giants song I want to play. Sometimes I feel like being wispy. Once in a while I feel like being dry. But we're doomed and we're drowned by this feeling we surround. So I hope that I get old before I die. Oh, it's a long, long rope they used to hang you soon, I hope. And I wonder why this hasn't happened, why? And I think of all the dirt that I'll be wearing for a shirt. And I hope that I get old before I die. It doesn't have all the words to it. It's funny. It's weird.
Yes.
Because this one does. That's not their thing.
Yeah.
They don't have the second verse.
Funny.
Just to know it, I guess. Clear off the kitchen table, darling. For on the kitchen table I must lie. And I'm tired from my life, Mr. Banquet of my life. And I hope that I get old before I die. Oh, it's a long, long rope they used to hang you soon, I hope. And I wonder why this hasn't happened, why? And I think about the dirt that I'll be wearing for a shirt. And I hope that I get old before I die. It's a fun song, right?
That is a fun song. Weezer Geek made both that one and She's an Angel.
Who did?
Weezer Geek.
What's Weezer Geek?
The guy who wrote, like, you know how it's credited when you write it and put in the.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the guy's name is
cool.
Person's name is.
I understand now what you're saying.
Yeah.
Where's the guitar tabs here? This guitar tab page here for They Might Be Giants has a lot of stuff. So much stuff, it's hard to process it all. But it's like, certainly I wish I had all the stuff that I made organized like this. You know, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Wow, so many songs.
So many.
And a lot of these, it's like, I'm a pretty big They Might Be Giants fan. I guess I've listened to a lot of their stuff, but I'm still not that familiar with a lot of these songs, you know, if at all.
Me too. You know more than I do. It's very impressive.
Oh, I know what I want to play. This one. I like this song. We're in a road movie to Berlin. Can drive out the way we drove in. So sneak out this glass of bourbon and we'll go. We were once so close to heaven. Peter came out and gave us medals, declaring us the nicest of the damn. Time won't find the lost, or it'll sweep all our scattered emotions. So take the wheel and I will take the pedals. We're in a road movie to Berlin. Can drive out the way we drove in. So sneak out this glass of bourbon and we'll go. Thanks.
That was a nice one.
I think I played it well. Some folk call me a rambling man, 'cause I do a lot of thumbing and a kicking can. But it won't do as good to call me names. My daddy was a Willie Woodrow. I wasn't born and raised in no ghetto. So I'm looking for a place to do my thing. Yeah, I don't want no handout living, don't want some part of anything they give. And I'm proud of mine like all the songs you sing. Well, I said a few things and I'll admit it. If you want to do the hit, you gotta hold and get it. I'm gonna walk more looking for a place to do my thing. I'm gonna find me a wealthy woman in a line of work and don't take no diploma. Cause I ain't got much to lose and lousy game. You might call me a good time fella, cause I ain't no black and I ain't no yellow. But I'm gonna look for a place to do my thing. I don't need no handout, living, don't want any part of anything they give. I'm proud of mine, like out the song you sing. Well, I said a few things and I'll admit it. If you want to get the hit, you got to home and get it. I'm gonna walk on looking for a place to do my thing. Small town boy, been around a little, and I like guitar and I like the fiddle. Cause that's the kind of soul that can band my thing. Small town boy, Bill, I'm ready. Blue, I've been born and ready. I'm looking for a place to do my thing. I don't need no handout, living, don't want any part of anything they give me. I'm proud of what I got the song you sing. I said a few things and I'll admit it. If you want to do the hit, you gotta home and get it. Walk on a place to do my thing. I said a few things and I'll admit it. If you want to get ahead, you gotta hump and get it. Just a wild boy looking for a place to do my thing.
Oh yeah. some good times.
All right. That's it. Talk to y'all later.